Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's the FOMC Live. I've managed to have myself a very little nap to get rid of this mad headache that we've got, but it looks like we got ourselves a little bit of fire in us tonight. Boy, FOMC, it's going to be a very good one, ladies and gentlemen. And I want to bring something to you courtesy of good old Sun Tzu. Check this. Managing many is the same as managing few. It is a question of division. What do we mean by this? Well, in tonight's live, ladies and gentlemen, before we get into the FOMC, I'm going to be spending a little bit of time on how to hunt for altcoins purely on the principle of them getting ready to break out of specific ranges. Now, I'm not going to just pull up any old altcoin. I'm not interested in altcoins that have zero volume. I will be looking at ones that bring the volatility, and I'm going to give you a little bit of insight into what I look at when I'm getting ready to effectively trade specific altcoins, and this may be something that you could do moving forward. Now, today is a little bit of a volatile day, so we could get slapped about a little bit, but take the actual practice itself and then use it as you go forward in your trading. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. If you are new to this channel, my name is Tino, and we're about to bring you the flavor. And we're going to listen in on whether Powell is going to be sure about cutting the interest rates next year, or is he just going to stall it? Dovish or hawkish is what we're looking for. Now, I enjoy the actual meeting itself, should I say the press conference, because it's an opportunity for Powell to, get a little bit excitable with his use of words. Now, please forgive me, but the last time Powell had a meeting, he did say, get the fuck out or close the fucking door. That was the best. Good old Powell. He's human as well, ladies and gentlemen. He has the hardest job in the world. So we're going to be tuning into that bad boy. We'll be listening into the conversations or the questions that they're going to be asking Powell. So make sure you tune in for that bad boy. Stick around for it. Whilst that's happening, we're going to be looking at Bitcoin because Bitcoin seems to be climbing up quite nicely towards that 42.2 zone. And there's lots of speculation about it. Bitcoin is going to continue up. This could be the 50K move for Bitcoin. Could you imagine an 8K move on Bitcoin? 8K? God forbid we come across as somewhat bearish on this channel. God forbid we become across as somewhat bullish on this channel. Nothing. I will not have any bias to direction. I will just say movement. How about that? No? Not good enough? Never mind, ladies and gentlemen. So, this live stream is going to be a little long one, okay? So the first hour we're going to spend on altcoins. Now, I usually say, can you make sure you get the likes to 1,000? But I'm going to trust that you guys do that. All right. So in that whole hour. So from now going through up until the last 10 minutes just before Powell, or should I say the federal funds rate is released at 7 o'clock UK time. All right. We'll be talking about a lot of altcoins. OK. Then once the actual federal funds rate comes out, then that will give us another 30 minutes before the press conference itself. In that time, we'll be looking in deeper into Bitcoin as well. And we're going to be going into some order flow. We're going to be diving into some Forex to understand how that is going to impact the cryptocurrency market. And if some of you have been paying attention to it, have you noticed how Ethereum moves down, Euro moves up, then Euro moves down, Ethereum moves up? There's this correlation only sometimes that happens between Euro and the Ethereum. So it's going to be very interesting to see how that's going to play out tonight. Good evening, good afternoon. Tino, you're too unbiased, unacceptable. Yes, I understand that. One day he's bullish, the next day he's bearish. These YouTubers, man, they don't know anything about TA or anything. You know what I say to the naysayers? Fuck them. That's what I say. Good old Elon Musk knows exactly what the story is. If you don't like it, yippee-ki-yay, my friend. We're here about the love for trading. We're here about the pattern watchers. And mad love and respect to everyone passing through every single day, checking into this live. And we bring you the heat, the fire, the volcanic eruptions in these charts. Ladies and gentlemen, let's stop with this nonsense of chat about biases. And let's get into the charts, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Do you want to hear a little bit of a song? I think we should listen to it. No, let's not. Let's do that later on. All right, then, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. What is good? Checking in with every single one of you. And the third day, he's goatish. I like that. I like that. Yes. Thank you very much, Nashak. Thank you. God bless you, my friend. All right then, ladies and gentlemen. So, let's get with it. I know we have a little bit of a laugh and a joke at times, but now it's business. FOMC. The word on the street is as follows. The Fed isn't ready to speculate on rate cuts yet. This word, yet, has been the bane of traders in Wall Street. The problem is, traders have already been pricing it in that they are going to cut the interest rates. Now, some heavyweights in Wall Street have turned around and said that it's not sustainable to have interest rates so high. It's going to crush corporate earnings going into the start of the first quarter next year. Well, there is an old saying in the marketplace, and some of the old players in the markets will understand this. Don't fight the Fed. Now, this is what's been going on. You've got the Fed saying one thing, the market doing the other. And then you've got the market doing one thing, and the Fed sat there thinking, hold on a second, they shouldn't be doing that. Okay? This is the problem that we've got. Now, most swap traders are actually betting on the idea that the Federal Reserve originally was going to cut interest rates quite aggressively. They've actually scaled back on their bets on the idea that that might not be the case. Why? Because this week we've had a bout of data coming in suggesting that things are a little bit interesting. Go back into the start of last week, or should I say Friday last week, when we had the unemployment data. They projected 3.9%, it came in 3.7%. We had more jobs being openly available for people to have. We had the job openings coming in lower. We had the ADP coming in very slightly a little bit higher. And then we had unemployment results, non-farm payrolls itself come in way above expectations. Now, what's the problem? Well, the problem is that core PPI has actually gone down, which would then suggest that inflation could likely come down. But it's not coming down to the mandate of 2%. And that is exactly how Powell will start his conversation today. If he does not start his press conference with, we at the Federal Reserve are committed to enforcing our mandate of 2% inflation, I will end the stream. I am sick of hearing that. And then he's going to go on to talk about the idea of it being data dependent. Just look at the bonds, bro. Look at what you're doing to the bonds market. So that's where we are going into tonight's live stream, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? And yes, ladies and gentlemen, just before we get started, I will be mentioning it throughout the live stream. There is a 20% discount throughout the Traders Reality website. I'll be showing you that very, very shortly on what you get with that. But we're not going to talk about that just yet. Let's now pay attention to good old Bitcoin, and then we're going to jump into the good old altcoins, where I will be asking you for your altcoins, but don't blow up the chat. I'm actually going to put down, wait there a second, I'm going to put a 30-second delay so that people don't lose their minds and start blasting up the stream with specific altcoins. Okay, so I'm putting that down, and then that way it makes life a little bit easier for people to read the comments, just in case someone asks a genuine question about an altcoin, like someone did yesterday regarding Fetch AI. Now, here we go. So, where are we at in cryptocurrency right now? So far, Bitcoin is up 1.49% for the day. Ethereum is up 0.65% for the day. Euro is down 0.09% for the day. HBAR seems to be acting as the anomaly with up 2.3%. And then, of course, XRP has managed to recover some of its losses. And, of course, in the futures markets, Bitcoin is up 2.48%. That's very important because we have got a few gaps down here that we need to take into consideration. But nothing to be too concerned about, but more importantly, a lot of people are like, but Tino, the CME gap, the CME gap, the CME gap. Okay, then cool. Let's go and have a look at the CME gap. Okay, here we go. Where we at? Where's the CME gap? Well, we got one gap right there, and we've also got this gap. Where was it? The gap down here at around the 20K mark right here, 21,065. And we've got one at the 40K zone, which is right here as well. They said that there were no more gaps for Bitcoin to have. Now it's Bitcoin is creating more gaps as it's going up. So we've got to be very cautious with this. Now, going into the daily time frame, ladies and gentlemen, what have we got going off here? Don't put your altcoins yet, ladies and gentlemen. No point. I'm not talking about altcoins yet. I'll give you the heads up on when it's going to be, because I've got a list of altcoins that I'm going to be going through anyway, and then I'll be referring into the chat for that bad boy. Just make sure you get the likes up to 1,000, and we are good. This is the FOMC, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be the biggest live stream that is done on this channel. I want to try and hit a target of 2,000 likes to work that YouTube algorithmus, and I'll be delivering you guys with as many coins as possible with potential plays that could be coming into light, but I don't want to encourage you guys to trade during FOMC. The idea is to take these trades logically after the FOMC because the setups will be presenting themselves very nicely. Okay, then cool. So Bitcoin, what have we got? Very good. Above the 13 EMA. That's this candle right here. Now I'm going to put it out as a long shot, okay? If Bitcoin is doing well to sustain this move to the upside, there could be a possibility that they're coming back up to recover this red vector candle zone because look at where we are right now. Smack bang in the middle at 42,026, okay? Bitcoin is currently holding this range, which will be the midpoint of the vector. Now, take the top side of the body of the candlestick, go down into the red vector candle right here on the open, sorry, on the close, and this would be the midpoint of the candlestick itself. Now, if volatility does come in, which I think it's going to, Bitcoin is going to start working up towards this range. That's what my assumption is about this move, okay? But it's when Powell starts talking that we're going to see the first bout of volatility. Bitcoin's going to shoot up. It can shoot back down, but we've got to be very, very cautious with it all. I will have EXO charts up. I'll be keeping an eye out on what is going on in the Forex markets as well. But this is exactly what we've got to be mindful of, okay? Today, I feel we will reach 2,000 spectators. I hope we do reach 2,000 spectators. All right? I hope we do. All right? Okay. What is good, Crypto Wealth? Long time. How you doing, brother? It's been a while, man. It's been a long time. Right, listen. The meeting is going to be in the next hour. Well, sorry, the next 40. Yeah, it's going to be at 7:30 UK time. Okay, so it's going to be 3:30 Eastern Standard. So just be mindful of that, all right? Be mindful. We've got a long live tonight, so we're going to take it easy. We're going to do some altcoin gameage, not gameage, but huntage. All right, I had a guy put a comment on the channel saying, Tina, I got mad love for you and all that with the Forex and what have you, but can we just keep it to a little bit of crypto? Because this is why I watch the channel. Please type 1 if you agree with that guy, but also type 2 if you do like the flavor of Forex as well, because understanding money flow around the other assets that have been around before Bitcoin was even thought of, it does make sense. Bitcoin is a measly 600 billion in market cap, and then you got Amazon at 3 trillion. Go figure. Oh, he's negative on Bitcoin. But a minute ago, he said he thinks it's going up. What are you going to do, Tino? Never mind. Anyway, so that's my long-term. Oh, we're seeing a lot of twos. Twos and ones. We have an even distribution right now. Okay, then let's work this out then. Okay, here we go. Let me just ask the question. Okay, right. Which is it? Okay, I'm going to do it right now. We're going to do a poll. Here we go. First one. Sorry to waste your time. Forex. And then we're going to go with crypto. Okay, take your pick. Forex includes the stock market and the indices. Off you go. There's a poll right there, ladies and gentlemen. Run it and tell me what you guys are about right now. I believe crypto is going to win. Okay, that's what I think. Oh, here we go. Here we go. What we got? What's the flavor saying? All right, 74 votes. There's 1,500 of you, right? And then 98 votes so far, so good. Crypto seems to be winning very well. Forex has got a measly 27% right there, ladies and gentlemen. It ain't doing too much. Okay, then, so let's get with the flavor whilst that is working. So Bitcoin is on its way up right now. Here we go. 1 hour time frame. We're going to be getting into the action of the altcoins very, very shortly. We've had the green vector candle appearing at the lows of this time frame right here on the 256-minute chart. And people are like, what the hell is that? 256 minutes. Don't ask the question. Just don't worry about it. Here we go. Now, oops, let me just go back into that. There we go. There is the midpoint of the vector candle on the daily, okay, which happens to be in a very interesting area. To all the platinum members in the channel, we have got several zones right now which could be acting as points of interest. The first zone is right here. Okay, that's our first zone. The second zone, excuse me, is right here with the blue vector candle right there. And the third zone is effectively this range right here. Why do we have so many zones, so many boxes? What does it all mean? Well, in the Platinum Members section, I give a lot of projections on these block trades, which incorporates the idea of the vector candles breaking in and away from these zones. Now, the idea is, given that Bitcoin is a very volatile asset, we can assume that they're going to be hitting each of these zones, and each of these zones could be areas of support, resistance, or targets to trade into and away from. So effectively opening trades, okay? So we're paying close attention to how Bitcoin is going to behave inside of this this range. At top side, we've got the range daily high, which will be surpassing over the 0.5 of the midpoint of the red vector candle on the higher time frame, which sits at 42,525. Now, whilst that's happening, we need to pay attention to the good old Bookmap. What have we got? Now, this is where it gets interesting. Look, as it stands, we have this flavor to the upside. Let's just verify something. Do I stand to be corrected? No, I do not. All right, then. So, yesterday, last night's live stream, we saw this flow of liquidity at the low of Bitcoin sitting at the 39,800, 40,000 zone. They were placing the orders and it was looking like it could have been a spoof. One gentleman was convinced it was going to be a spoof, but the liquidity is still present and a lot of it as well. So we've got to be very careful of this range. Bitcoin's moving up. I'm hoping it's moving up because they are actually favoring higher prices. The only way we can understand that is if we consider what's going on the order book. Look at the top. You might not see it clearly, but it says minus 17, minus 23, minus 26%. That means there is an imbalance now to limit sales being triggered. So traders are selling right now. Price is going up. They're selling. They've just, oh my God, Bitcoin's moving up. Quick, sell, sell, sell. That's what the order book is showing right now. Very important. When we go over to EXO Charts, we can see right here where we are. Now listen, Bitcoin is trading towards the highest band of its volume profile. The same thing that we saw earlier on today with regards to the S&P. Look, notice that area that we were trading earlier on. They brought it all the way back down again, okay? And they've surpassed that 1271 range where those orders were. Straight after the live, I actually went long again and took the trade and scalped it for about 7 ticks. So that was happy days afterwards as well, because I did see that big player coming in. Now, let's just put that aside. Forget that for a second. Let's move that because I have this tendency to open trades without even realizing it. Here we go. So Bitcoin right now has made the top side of the move at 42,246. What I anticipate going in towards the FOMC, I expect Bitcoin to flip this area here. Because as Bitcoin moves up towards this zone, inside of this area are block trades. What do we mean by that? These are orders that are yet to get filled inside of the day's profile, okay? So they're orders that are waiting to be triggered, but price hasn't gone to that zone just yet. And when it goes towards that zone, it usually triggers bulk orders to be filled, all right? Now, if it does do that, then we're going to see the volatility. And Bitcoin right now is holding out in the top side of its value area high. Be careful. Limit sales are coming into action, okay? Bitcoin's moving up. It's consistent with reversals. Just take that into consideration. Now will be the perfect time to mark Bitcoin up to reverse. But we don't know how much of a markup Bitcoin's going to take. It all depends on the news itself, okay? So we've got to take that into consideration. We go and have a look at the NASDAQ for a second, and you can see NASDAQ is taking a bleed and coming all the way back down towards these points of control. There is a possibility NASDAQ slumps and then comes back up. Again, you want to trade this volatility, you got to have balls of steel, and you got to be sure with your risk management, ladies and gentlemen. Do not take anything for granted with that, okay? Now, here we go. It looks like 631 people have voted, and we've got 72% of the votes winning on cryptocurrency. Boy, oh boy. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. If you want the Forex flavor, it looks like you've got to become a member. I ain't going to be talking about Forex. No, I'm going to be talking about Forex. I'm joking. Of course I will. We'll always be mentioning it. I'll be looking at gold as well, my friend. Okay, then. So we've profiled effectively what Bitcoin is getting up to right now. So we understand that the limit sales are coming into play. Now, let's get into some altcoins. We have effectively got 35 minutes to really get into the grit of altcoins. 35 minutes for you guys with your altcoins, okay? I'm not asking for them yet. So let's talk about the approach. First things first, we need to understand what Ethereum is doing across the board in relation to altcoins. It's the biggest altcoin. let's zoom out and understand what Ethereum is getting up to first. So, Ethereum, lots and lots of liquidity with Ethereum. It's quite choppy, but moving away from its VWAP as well, as you can see right here. And looking on the order flow itself, we can see that we have got an interesting bout of sales coming in at the 2,240 zone with 2,790 contracts of Ethereum being sold at that point. Above at 2,280, we've got 1,629 contracts, okay? So it tells me that some altcoins could be getting ready to pump, okay? Now, let's put things into perspective. Let's do what the retail trader would do, okay? So retail trader will come over here and he'll look at new cryptocurrencies. He'll find all these cheap ones right here and hope that he spends $10. Oh, you see? Look, go F yourself. That's been a token. They've already created it. It's already got, wow, 2 million. Look at that, 23 hours ago. Can you believe that? Oh, my days. Look at that, man. Anyways. Marsupilima Inu. What on earth is that? See what my problem is here, okay? So, they're probably going to look at these altcoins. Well, what I like to have a look at is I'll go over to this live order flow with Genidata. First things first, I want the volume, okay? That's the first criteria. So the first asset we're going to look at is what we looked at earlier on was WLD. Okay, cool. WLD USDT. What am I thinking right now? Well, let's have a look at this coin, okay? So they've just recently had a bout of volume, all right? So lots of volume coming into this coin, all right? Now, let's just go over to cryptocurrency and let's just now search WLD, okay? What have we got? WorldCoin. Here we go. So, WorldCoin. Currently, market cap, 300 million right there. Not too bad. $2.47. Okay, cool. Big move up. Update. Wild token appears to have spiked on news of its World ID integration with X, Minecraft, Reddit, Shopify, and others. There you go. Integration. So you can justify this. But remember, news plays themselves will always lead to something like this. Look, integration, markup, come back down. Once integration has been done, then what happens? Usability comes down, consolidates, they start using it more and more, people are using it, and then it starts to slowly climb back up. So maybe WorldCoin is probably going to be just take it slow, might be a slow burner, but they've initiated the move, okay? Look, funny how they've marked it up, they've dropped it all the way down because of what happened across cryptocurrency, and then this happened to be the point that they reversed out on the news announcements. Great news, okay? So what we got to look for with WorldCoin is now that the news has come out about it, we're now going to be looking for the adoption of it, okay? When I say adoption of the newfound integration with Minecraft, Reddit, and Shopify, okay? So we're going to wait and see how that plays out. So I would then consider you guys pay close attention to this range right here, which is this whole vector candle, this whole zone right here. And this is on the 1 hour time frame. If you go into higher time frames themselves, we can then consider the following and say, right, I'm going to give it a little bit more freedom. Let's assume that cryptocurrency market actually let's assume that everything comes down. Okay. And as an altcoin, it's probably going to be prone to that as well. You would want to be looking at picking up, should I say, an area of support inside of this range right here, because this is the last area that they consider to move from, which would be consistent with a retrace back into the 50 EMA and consider consolidation as well. All right, so take that into consideration at these two price points right here, $2.18, and then, of course, $2.05. That would be a good point to load up on an asset like this because you're waiting effectively for the adoption of this, okay? They've introduced it. Cool. Now we're waiting for adoption. All right? How is it going to be used? Okay? Cool. Moving on from that. We've got other tokens as well. We've got Fun Token. Okay. From that, ladies and gentlemen, for the next 2 minutes, just give me a few of your coins. Give me a few of your coins that you want me to talk about. Fun Token is actually coming to play right now. So we're going to go into Fun. Okay? USDT. Come on, Tino. USDT right there. USDT. Where is it? Come on. Uh-oh. Fun fair. I'm guessing it's that. Yep. Wow. There it is. And what do you think is going to happen next? It's coming down. That's the sad truth, okay? Fun token. Let's go to it. What we got? Funfair. Fun token, right. Big spike up, okay? So now it's project announcements. When was this? Don't know when it was. Okay, 4 hours ago. Price source higher after broke out from a downtrend. Okay, so nothing really interesting. But with a market cap of only 96 million, not really that good. Not bad for an altcoin, but given that this altcoin itself, you know, we've got here, look, 15 million, 22 million, 21 million, 20 million, 20 million, 19 million on spot. It is all on spot. So that is that's a good sign if it's on spot. If it's on futures, I'd be a little bit concerned. That's the next thing. When you're buying these coins, make sure that spot is the predominant volume, or the amount that's shown interest is on spot, not on futures, because spot logically tells you that they want to hold on to this for a period of time. So that means the liquidity is going to be locked in for a little bit of time. That gives opportunity for someone else, maybe the early adopters down here, to sell up here. Okay? So just wait for this bad boy to effectively pull back ever so slightly. It is a light cap, so just be very cautious with it, ladies and gentlemen. Quickly going over to this Coinank. Let's just have a look at the coins with open interest, and then I'll have a look at what you guys asking for in the actual live. So what's this? Rats again. Not interested in that. IGU. Do you guys want me to look at rats? Because that just looks absolutely terrible. Okay, IGU is showing me some interest right now. Let's just bring that bad boy up. IGU going into, here we go. So 15 million, 138% up on open interest in the last 24 hours. And that's the last 24 hours, okay? So I'm going to look at these. I'm going to look at Beam. I'm going to look at Sweat. Look at Storage, okay? So IG, not long ago, got listed on the market, 20th of February 2023. It's coming away from this zone. This is really good. 10 cents, not bad. Okay, so what is it? IGU. Let's just have a look at that for a market cap. IGU, where we at? Here we go. So what have we got? Market cap 4 million, sorry. So not really that much, but it's trading really well. Like, we can't knock that, okay? It's doing okay. This guy's bearish on it. Don't worry about him, okay? But looking at it from this perspective, I'm probably going to agree with what this guy has to say in a minute. But as an altcoin, remember, these people that have been loading up inside of this area at 0.3, notice every time it spikes up, it comes back down. Look left, it's coming into the vector candle recovery point, and they've recovered this vector candle zone as well. So I'd be cautious. The idea of this is when you see altcoins that have made this move, don't look at this and think, oh my God, it's going to continue to move higher. Anticipate a retrace back down, okay? Because everyone's coming in right now to buy this coin because it's moved up aggressively. They're going to look at what it was. They're going to say, oh my God, this used to be what, 42 cents? Oh my days, look at that. And it's only now 10 cents. So that is where people will be encouraged to start buying the coin. Then on that token, it will then come back down to squeeze out all the guys that have just recently purchased, which gives the guys who've just recently purchased from this point right here effectively another chance to buy again when it comes back into that zone. If you only look at how it's been behaving inside of here, they did exactly the same thing, all right? So take that into consideration. Can we check CTC on USDT? Right, let me just finish off. Let me just look at that. CTC. The thing is, right, I don't think it doesn't give you that option to search. Then again, I haven't actually looked at it yet. It doesn't give you the option to search, but I'm not really seeing CTC has not come up at all on this. There's nothing on CTC, but let me just look at the chart itself. CTC credit coin, let's go to Mexi credit coin. Here we go. Look at that. So big moves. Remember, again, right, here we go. CTC credit coin, what we got? Market cap, 195 million, not bad. Okay, 57 cents, that's decent. I can deal with that. Price in the same way as nearly XRP, all right? Now look, what did we just say? Early adopters will be inside of this area here. Those same early adopters are now selling up here. Those early adopters don't want to start buying from here. They're going to start buying as it comes back down again. And that's usually the case with altcoins, okay? Once the bull run comes into play, then we're going to start seeing the altcoins making moves up, all right? It's historically got this sort of flavor. Pumps up, comes down, they do the same thing again. Up, comes down, do the same thing again. What we're looking for is a red vector candle to appear inside of this zone, which will then tell us that the same players who have been buying it, okay, are going to get ready to buy it here. So as it comes down, they're buying it. As it goes up, they're selling it. That's how we have to see the altcoins, all right? Now, quickly going back into some more altcoins over here, we've got, this is the last 24 hours. So let's just look at Beam for a second. Have a look at BEAMX. Beam on the daily time frame showing some nice promise to the upside. It is doing very well. Bitcoin's pulled back away from the value area high, which we were talking about as potential reversal points. Just be very careful with this range right now. But Beam is doing very well, and it's literally on price discovery, ladies and gentlemen. It's moving up, okay? So early adopters are doing very, very well, and they're probably going to keep moving this bad boy higher and higher. Looking at BEAMX for the actual... For its tokenomics, okay, not bad. 1 billion, not bad. It's doing very well for an altcoin. Okay, then. So we're going to assume that at some point there's going to be a bit of a pullback. 4-hour time frame. You can see it's still continuing the narrative even higher. But what you got to look for is what? The 5 and 13 EMA. Once you start seeing it breaking down below the 5 and 13 EMA, you're going to assume that this range right here is an area of support. Okay, you're going to assume this area right here is also an area of support. When I say support, I mean an area for reactions, okay? Because the market has a good memory. So we're going to anticipate that it's going to actually achieve the bounces from these ranges. That's what we've got to consider, okay? So take that into consideration when you are looking at these sort of coins. Okay, then, what else have we got going forward with the actual altcoin market? Moving on, we're going to look at Sweat. I've heard of Sweat. And then we're going to look at some of your altcoins that you guys want me to look at in the chat. Here we go. Sweat Tether. Moved up 4-hour time frame, coming down, moving up. This is exactly what I'm talking to you about. This here. You see that? That's what we're looking for with all the altcoins that have just shown a big green vector candle pointing upwards with the promise of price going higher. You're looking for this retrace right here. That's what you're looking for. The ones that have already done the retrace are looking like they could be showing the promise to continue higher if the market does follow through, okay? Take that into consideration if the market does follow through, because right now it's holding above the 13 and the 5 EMA. Happy days. We assume a trend to the upside. If Bitcoin breaks down and Ethereum breaks down, just pay attention because these coins will also break down as well. Remember, the lighter the coin, there's a big chance that they're not going to just release it straight away just to avoid slippage and scaring people off. So take that into consideration, okay? Cool. All right, then, ladies and gentlemen, last one, and then we're going to go into your coins. I just want to look at the coins in the last hour that's been moving. For God's sake, bonk. Are you serious? What on earth is this? I don't believe this. This thing moves fast. This thing moves very fast. Guys, be careful with these altcoins, man. Look at them. I don't advise you trade these altcoins. Look at them. Wiki. Mad. You think the S&P's crazy on the depth of market. This is even worse. Just be careful when you trade these sort of coins, ladies and gentlemen. I don't even encourage you to look at that. Okay, AXL, what's this? AXL USDT. Let's have a look at that. 90 cents. Binance US. Okay, I'm not interested in coins like that. All right, then. Let's have a look at your altcoins, ladies and gentlemen. 753 likes. 2,000 of you. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to bring you some flavor in a short moment. Come on. Where's the 2K likes, ladies and gents? All right, then. What have we got? I'm going to end the poll as well. Here we go. There's your results, ladies and gentlemen. It appears that cryptocurrency has ruled this channel, but it did start with Bitcoin and Ethereum. So let's get with the flavor. Here we go. Right. I'm hearing a lot of people talking about AWAX. Let's get with some AWAX story. Here we go. AWAX. AWAX making some interesting plays to the upside. I just want to have a look at AWAX from this perspective. USDT. And let's have a look at some orders on AWAX right now. So right now, as we speak, we've got quite a bit of liquidity. We've got an order right now that's looking at currently being filled of 148,000. 93% of it has been filled. So we expect AWAX to pull back a little bit more to fill that order. Top side of AWAX, we got 500,000 that is due to be hit on the ask at $40.50. So 185,000. It's booked it onto the book. So we're going to wait and see if they're actually going to fill that. And then at top side right here at 42, we've got another 600,000. So there's going to be a lot of selling that's going to happen on the move to the upside. So take that into consideration with some of your altcoins, ladies and gentlemen. Be careful. So looking at it from a hybrid system perspective, you can see that they've initiated the move higher. Going into the 15-minute time frame, we can see that they're looking like they want to trend even further upwards. So we look left and we see we got vector candle regions all the way up here, but not, they've already fully recovered those zones. But 42 looks like a bit of a promise in the chart. If I go to the 5-minute time frame, we could actually see a collection of vectors. Is that it right there? There we go. We've got a little collection of vectors right here, which should marry up to 42. 41 right there, not bad. But then we're going to assume that 42 will be all the way up here. There we go. So that would be our logical zone on the basis that there's going to be a stop run to see the idea of AWAX getting ready to eat the liquidity even higher up right here because of what's going on at the top side of these orders that are due to be filled in the book. So take that into consideration. Hold on, I got some of these things here. Hold on. So you got a gentleman that's typed in there. What have you just put? Okay, TARAXA, bull flag, 1 hour, 4 hour, and 1 day time frame. Okay, let's just have a look at that for a second in terms of TARAXA. What's the ticker for that, man? I don't even know what that coin is. Forgive me. TARAXA coin. Here we go. TARAXA coin. Here we are. What have we got? See, this trade's very light. I don't like this. Sorry, man. I don't want to encourage people to trade that. From a holder's perspective on the longer time frame, I mean, look, it's doing well. It's moving up nicely, but it's got the habit of going up to come down. Again, you see this behavior, okay? That's what's going to happen with this, all right? And hopefully they can sustain this point right here on the chart with this move right here because they've already recovered some of it. So assume support inside of this range on the daily time frame for this coin, my friend. So just be careful with that. Okay. Now, moving on from that, ladies and gentlemen, what else have you got for me in the chat? Here we go. GBP USD. I'll look at that in a second. Okay, then. So, ADA. Let's have a look at ADA. Yep. ADA USDT. Let's have a look at the order flow for ADA. ADA's looking very nicely to the upside as well. Let's go to the 1 hour time frame. Let's have a look at what we've got coming up in ADA. So by principle of vector candles, where we expect people to be transacting at specific points, we've got the violet vector candle, which tells me that they could be coming back up again. Let's go into ADA over here just to understand where we are. USDT on Binance right there. So here is the liquidity right now being filled on ADA. And there we go. Right. So zooming in. This is ideal for anyone that's looking to scalp, okay? But on the bigger time frames, it's good as well to understand. This is on the 4 hour time frame. You can see right now that we've effectively got orders coming in on the bids down here on ADA. So at 60 cents, so 0.66, we've got 145,000 that is currently being booked. So they want to see that get filled. Above there, we've got 194,000 and then 192,000, well, 500,000 nearly, and traded value, 84% of it has been booked on the bid. So this is very important, okay? And it lasted 59 seconds to get that booked. So you can see what I mean about how quick the volatility is coming in on ADA. But right now, at the top side right there, we've just had some sales at 339,000 on the collective initial amount at 62 cents with 94% left. Sorry, there's still 6% left of it to actually be obtained. I'm paying attention to what's going on up here. We've got even bigger pools. Look, 5.23 million being booked at the top side of 74 cents. So this is very important. The fact that we've got such a fat stack at the top right there that is looking to be offered, that means people have to buy to see price going up towards that point. So ADA, guys, be very cautious about this zone because it hasn't been traded just yet. It was 5 million at the top side right there. So just keep an eye out on 74 cents when we're looking at that. And we go over to 74 cents. Look left. Where does that put us? Going into the daily time frame, have a look over there. 74 cents puts us directly in with this vector candle that Bitcoin has the same principle of as well. We're going to be looking for Bitcoin to attack this range. At the top side of that vector, that's $74 and just 74.12, whatever, 0.71412, whatever it is, man. It's $74. These tricky-ass coins with their numbers and their decimals after. Just 74 cents, man. Why is it breaking my back for that? Anyways, But that's the logic right there, ladies and gentlemen. And then, of course, you need to take the vector candles and you need to consider points of interest where they could show support, okay? So we look at the vector right here. You can see it's held that zone. It's come back into it, bounced away from it. Now, we've got this area right here on the daily, which is consistent with an area of sales. So we want to assume that there's going to be support inside of these zones. So from now, going into the FOMC, going into the next day, we want to be paying attention to these key levels on ADA as it is right now, okay? So I hope that has justified you all with your sells right there. So we've got 15 minutes. Okay, Tau. Let's have a look at Tau and get into the flavor of TAOUSDT. Okay, then what we got? Tau, Mexi. Okay. All right, then. So quite choppy at the top side. $300 asset. That's very good. That's right up my street. Let's have a look at TAO. Is it not been listed? What would it be listed as? What would we just have it as? Bittensaw. Tau USD. Let's go Bittensaw. Let's go. Doesn't seem to be on this one, unfortunately, which is really weird. I don't understand why it's not on there. Yeah, sorry about that, bro. But yeah, from that perspective of the daily time frame, just going to the 4-hour chart itself, you can see it's consolidating. This will be good for a block trade opportunity because we can see now we've got a green vector candle region right here, which is showing the promise of longs holding this chart right here. But if they invalidate this range down here at 309, anticipate a little sweep lower to come and hit the 200 EMA on the fact that the marketplace is breaking down from this point. So take that into consideration. Okay, let's have a look at Atom as well. Let's go look at Atom, USDT. All right, Cosmos. Right, what we got Atom doing? Okay, so we know Atom's going to be up here. So let's have a look at that. Atom. Here we go. So it's currently down 4%. And what we've got right here in terms of the order flow, let's have a look at it. All right, so we know ADA's got that big stack at the top at $75. So we really want to see ADA move up, but we can assume resistance at that point. Right now, we've got some bids coming in at 133,000 on Atom. Hasn't been traded just yet, but $11.01. And that has been on. Okay, so that came in 7 minutes ago. Yeah, so that came in 7 minutes ago. So we've got to be very careful with that. And I would ideally want to see it go down because the next pool of liquidity low is 147. But the biggest pool right here, I would say, yeah, that's the biggest pool right now. Top side, 133,000. Zooming out, I mean, we don't really have 210,000 down at $10.05. So just be very careful with that. But we've already just sweeped up. Up here is big order, fulfilled, 500,000. Traded value was 500,000, but the initial amount was 127,000. So it was actually sold off more. It triggered more sellers to come in at that price point, okay? So that's very interesting right there, all right? Top side of the move, if we assume there's going to be some volatility, we've got 285 on sell orders at $12.50. And then, of course, we've got nothing being traded at 13 yet. So just take that into consideration when you are considering that, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, then, cool. What time are we on? We got 10 minutes until the moment of truth. Now, whilst you are all in here, ladies and gentlemen, how many of you are absolutely new to this live stream? If you are new to it, okay, first things first, you want to make your way over to the Traders Reality website so you can take advantage of these indicators. They are free of charge. It costs you nothing. Go to the info tab, scroll all the way down and follow the system, join the Discord and download the hybrid system. Okay, it's free to do and there's other indicators as well on there for you. One's Bookmap, which is a paid service. You've got to go to bookmap.com for that. Okay, but we are running a event which is all the way through till January, where you get 20% off everything on the website. That includes the memberships. That includes all the masterclasses. There's a free course on there. Do the free course. Don't take the paid course. Do the free course. You only take the paid course if you are excelling and understand the hybrid system when you've done the free course. And ladies and gentlemen, this course has been provided purely out of convenience. Why? Because everything is on the YouTube channel free of charge. It costs you nothing to go through it, except there's 1,500 videos, thousands of hours of masterclasses, and of course, 4,500 posts on Patreon. So that's all been moved onto the website, but everything is on the YouTube channel. Courses have been created purely for convenience because people might not have the time, but some people do. So that's there for you. You get 20% off absolutely everything on the Traders Reality website. It's pinned to the top of the chat and it's called Santa, and it's in the description of this video as well. All right? So use Santa in the checkout. Cool. I'll mention that towards the end again anyways. Now, we're getting in towards the next 11 minutes where the FOMC will actually be starting. Let me just quickly go over some other altcoins. Solana. Let's have a look at Solana for a split second in terms of the volume. Then we'll have a look at some Forex to understand exactly where we are. So Solana, currently right now showing a bit of promise inside of this range right here. We zoom in and we can see, oh my days, what is going on in here with Solana. All right, then. Check this out. This block. All right, 118,066 bid. 324,000 right there, okay? 100,000, 1.6 million. So that's been fulfilled. Longs have been filled at 68, okay? Going above that, not filled, not filled. Okay, not filled. That's been not filled, not filled. Bid at 67. And what's happening right now is they're gunning for the sales. We've got booking right now, 507 at 68,026. There could be a 500,000 sell. Okay, so we've got to be very careful with that. Got to be very careful with this. It's marking up. We've got all sorts of liquidity. 1.3 million at the top side right there. A big stack at the top over here. There's going to be a lot of sales coming into play with that. Let me just have a look at Bitcoin, just to put things into perspective on the orders. Let's have a look at that. Here we go. So Bitcoin's moved up nicely on the 4-hour. We've got imbalances at the top side right here. Lots of asks. Look at these. Obviously, they're in the millions because it's Bitcoin, but these have all come in. These are all asks. 9 million on the book right there. Someone's looking to sell at 43,300. Let's justify that. Bookmap, 43,300. Let's go over to it. 43,300. That puts us at the top side. And this is on Binance. 43,300 puts us all the way up there. 121 Bitcoin orders. That pretty much makes sense. Yeah, okay. 335 Bitcoin at 43,000 right there. This looks like they could go for it, man. There's no reason why it can't. I'll be very surprised if it doesn't do the initial sweep to the upside. That is what I'm looking for right now. Tino, does the Bitcoin chart on the 1 hour look like it's developing a proper W? All right, then. So what is a proper W? Okay, do this course. It will tell you exactly what M's and W's are, all right? I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about right here. Just press pause on that bad boy. It's a free course. What is the patterns? Here we go. So the patterns come into play with this part of the course. It's free. You've got to become a bronze member. It costs you nothing. Look at this dude, man. What a guy. The M levels, the vector candles, psi levels, trading style, the patterns. Inside of this is a video that talks about all of the patterns where we draw W's and M's. How can you identify them? What do they look like? And there's an exercise in this that talks you through how to understand what is a valid M, what is a valid W, all right? So go and check that bad boy out. But in response to your question on Bitcoin on the 1 hour time frame, is it a valid W formation? Go into the 1 hour. Let's break it down. Here we go. Bitcoin right now has got impressionable moves to the downside right here with the vector candles. That is criteria 1 for Bitcoin, okay, on the W. Drop. That's what we need. We've now had 2 retraces back into the moving average, which is this 50 EMA right here, which then tells us, is it true that they are going to try and work their way higher? So we take the first leg, that's there. They've retraced back in, that's the midpoint. Then we've got the second leg, and the logic would say that this looks like the move to the upside for Bitcoin. What do we need to see happening for Bitcoin right now? We need Bitcoin effectively to clear this range, because this is when we start getting a bit surgical with the W formations. It needs to clear this range, which is what it's already done. Cleared it, and now it's trading above it. But the problem is we've got a little bit of resistance with the moving averages. And when I say resistance, even though moving averages are laggard, they are impressionable points by retail traders to either sell or buy, okay? So we're trying to work out right now if this is the point where retail traders are actually stepping in to buy. Market maker will fulfill that obligation, take it over to this point right here. Do we see people that are in the mood to sell? Yes, we do. We got 9 million up here. We've also had 4.3 million up here, and we got 500,000 there, and we got 1 million up there. So that takes us to 43,809. The logic would say that 43,800 would be a nice little move to the upside for Bitcoin to hit the range daily high. Of course, going to the psychological low. What do we need to see? Big green vector candle coming into play to effectively recover the red vector candle to the left of the chart, which is the previous imbalance chart, imbalance zone from the market maker's attempt at hitting the liquidations for the long traders and building his longs at the same time, trapping retail traders to go short. Damn. I ain't doing that again. Does that answer your question? Okay, then. Cool. What else have we got? Bitcoin suspiciously ranging above the 2,000. Okay, so look at it like this. We got Bitcoin ranging above the 2,000. Let's just pull up the order flow and understand where we are right now. Okay, so look, we are now effectively 6 minutes away from the actual federal funds statement, the the projections, economic projections, and the funds rate itself. So 6 minutes, it's going to get crazy. If we don't see the wild behavior, then it's everyone's waiting for the press conference. Okay, so let's just take that into consideration. How's your whoop after that? Bro, my phone's all the way down there. It is operating fine. What language are you talking? Yeah, I speak fast, man. You got to listen quick, bro. You've got to listen quick, because when we start moving with price, then you'll understand exactly what's happening. Here we go. So, Mervin, that is probably true. I do deny my brain a lot of oxygen, okay? That's probably what it was. But going back into the idea of Bitcoin going up into this point right here, we really need to see vectors, because you guys hear me talking about the first green vector candle that appears above the 50 EMA. Well, this is not fully above the 50 EMA, so we've got to be very careful. We know full well there's liquidity up here for them to grab. Volatility is the only thing right now that's going to lead price higher, and it's going to be good news to mark Bitcoin up. But bad news can also move Bitcoin up as well, because the market will be having the obligation to fulfill this area. Look, 9 million inside of this zone over here, top side right here, 4.3, and then you got one here, 4.38, and you had 9 million somewhere inside of this zone. We just had it anyway, all right? But there's $9 million of contracts right here that they can transact on. That is huge for the market, or should I say the exchange, okay? So, incoming FOMC crash for Bitcoin. Christian Flores. Gandalf, what's good? Okay, what is Coinank? Coinank is, listen, Coinank just gives you, it's pretty decent. It gives you the assumed areas of initial amounts that are being placed on the bid and the ask. Frankly, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to understand where Bitcoin's going to go, look at what people are prepared to sell and look at what people are prepared to buy with, all right? And what you've got to try and work out is the momentum that price builds up when it's making its way towards a certain zone and away from a certain zone. So what do we see right now? Look at these guys down here. 20 million.44 at 39,900. Go down a little bit more, 20 million.6. Go down a bit more, 20 million.56. Go down a bit more. Same orders are coming into play. Whoops, a little crash there. So it looks like there's someone that wants to stack quite a bit of Bitcoin on the bids. We only know that's going to be the case over here with the Bookmap, and you zoom out and you know there's the liquidity down below where the 40K is. So you've got two platforms that are showing you the difference, and you can agree where the commitment is, all right? This looks like a resting order. 904 Bitcoin at 40,000, 562 at 39,950, 666 Bitcoin orders at 39,800, 756 Bitcoin orders at 39,710-ish, and then 234 Bitcoin orders at 39,600. That's the biggest spot right now for Bitcoin. If Bitcoin shoots up and it's good news, these orders should be cancelled. That's what we're looking for. Imbalance is coming in at 22% to the top side. Okay, so we're now going to be paying attention to this. We're going to wait and see if they can actually fill that, because this is real time. 2 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. A bear stands up before he strikes. This is very true. A bear stands up before he strikes. Here we go. So I'm going to put this over here. All right. To my guys that are looking at EXO charts, just look above my head. This is the value area high. We're effectively looking for a sweep up, if that's going to be the case. We're also going to be paying attention to this bad boy right here. So we're going to wait and see if they can actually pull the flavor. We want the liquidity. Right now, there is someone trying to sell Bitcoin. There's a sell order at the top side of 5 million at 42,260. Okay? A sell order at 5.25. Let's see if they sweep the liquidity up. Let's see. Let's go into the Bookmap. Let's have a look. zoom in. And let's have a closer look. We've got some orders, 400. There you go, 42,260. That's our order right there. All right, then. So we're going to put that right here. Bitcoin's price in the middle. I'm going to look at that, move that over ever so slightly, put that there. Are we good, ladies and gentlemen? Can we see that? There you go. You should be able to see that right there. If I stand still, that's where we are. Okay, so Bitcoin's price in the middle right there. Bitcoin Bookmap. We've got this order right here of 5.25. That is initial amount that has not been traded just yet. So we're going to wait and see if they can hit the spikes to the upside. Are you ready, ladies and gentlemen? Are we good to go? 2,500 of you beautiful people. Hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Come on. Do you ever use CoinGlass? Sometimes I use CoinGlass, but they want 10 grand for their institutional data. 10 grand for the year. Nah, man. Not that. Not that I can't rely on it. But that's another thing. Look, we get all sorts of stuff. It's the, Martin, you've got to adjust it. You've got to adjust it on the top here with the, it's asking the bids. Always look at the asking the bids. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting some movement. Here we go. All right. Here we are. Is anybody anxious? I ain't anxious. I like if you tell me about Coinank. Look, man. Here we go. Here we go. It's not even out yet. Still 20 seconds. Still 20 seconds. Not even out yet. Bitcoin right here. I'm going to pay attention to the orders on the ask, on the offer right here. That order needs to stay there. 42,260 to suggest it's going to go up. Here we go. They got to add to it. Are they going to take that liquidity? Uh-oh. That wasn't very nice. Here we are. That's more like it, ladies and gentlemen. They've just swept that liquidity right there. Okay. So they've just swept it. Bitcoin's holding out. I'm not even interested in what they've got to say on there. I just need to be looking at the price. Bitcoin ain't really doing much. Look at the price in the middle. It's not doing much. This is all happening inside one zone. They did the sweep. They took that 42K and that 5 million traded right there. There you go. Look, 2.5 was taken at 42.1. Going up. Where is it? I just saw it. Come on. Where is it? I just saw it. There you go. 98% filled. They've just sold. Here we go. 42.8, 42.3. It's going up. It's spiking up, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we want to see. We want to see the next pool of liquidity is 2 million at top side, 42,442. Bids are still coming in. Imbalance, 27, 40%. It's still going up. Limit sales are coming in. So limit sales are currently controlling this move up. So we're expecting Bitcoin to move up. I think TradingView's messed up. TradingView ain't moving. What's going on? What is going on? Why ain't TradingView moving? Oh, there it is. Now it's moving. Something's wrong with TradingView. It can't hack it. Here we go. Thank God for EXO and Bookmap. All right, then. So we're looking at this now. Limit sales are coming into play. 24%, 28%, 40%. They're coming in. It's going up. Bitcoin's moving up. They're sweeping the zones. They're sweeping the liquidity. Red vector candle recovery could be on the cards, ladies and gentlemen. They're moving up, but not really moving up too fast. All right, so just be very cautious with this. It's the 4-hour time frame. Imbalance is still present. Look, top side up there. You want to pay attention to that. Ew, don't start changing. Limit buys are coming into play, but we're still good. We're still good. It's all good. Still want to see the limit sales coming in. 33%, minus 33%. Limit sales are still active. They're still active at the top side of this move. That's good news for us. What we got over here. Here we go. Initial amount, 42,400, not taken just yet. Just shy of it. We've got 2 million that's due to be taken on that. $2.09 million worth of positions waiting to be sold on Bitcoin. They've been sat there for quite some time. Come on, Bitcoin. What is that time? It's the hour time frame. It's not even doing anything. Come on. Something's up with that, man. There is something wrong with that. Very something wrong. That's what I mean, man. TradingView, at best of times, I don't trust it. Look what's going on TradingView. TradingView's price right there, yeah? Look what's going on. Bitcoin's at 42,309, and right now it's 42,230. That doesn't make sense. All right, so what's going on there? I won't be looking at TradingView very often then. Happy days. There, here we go. This is better than sports. Dixie down, Dixie down. So euro is up, if I'm correct, ladies and gentlemen. You know? Here we go. Big order coming in. They're coming in to sell. They're selling. They keep selling. Listen, guys, volume is up minus 52%. Limit sells. They are running price up, okay? They're moving it up aggressively. And we ain't even had Powell speaking. They did exactly the same thing before. Be careful, because they could snap it down. Limit sells keep on coming in. Volume is up on limit sells. So if you're in longs right now, pay yourselves. Just keep taking profits as it's moving up or lock in your profit, because Powell hasn't even had a conversation just yet, all right? And he could snap it back down. Just please trade with. The S&P's moving up. Look at this on the order flow. Here we go. I haven't been able to spend time looking at this. I can't even tell if the bid side. Look at those bids. Look at those bastards. Here we go. I'm going to try and take a little quick scalp on that bad boy. Let's see. Just one position. Let's see if we can take advantage. Just one contract will do. One contract will do. What can we bank with that? $50, $60? Come on. Come on, S&P. Bid side. Come on. Offer, offer. Go. Come on. There you go. Offer, go. Quick time. There she goes. Nice little flip up there. Off you go. Come on. Spike up. Ah! S&P's a little bit tricky like that. I might need to put a limit order in to lock it in just in case it does spike higher. Here we go. Let's see if we can lock it in. Come on. Spike up. Off you go. 3, 2, 1. Make the pump. Come on. There you go. I can see you doing it. I know you want to do it. Bitcoin limit orders coming in. That's good. Come on. Make the move. Come on. You're in there. Come on. Make the move. There you go. There you go. I think I might need to get rid of it. 3, 2, 1. So, yeah. There she goes. Oh, shit. Oh, no, I opened another position. Oh, my days. What did I do there? Tino, you clown. Oh, my God. Didn't even realize it. Let's try again. No, what are you doing? Stop it. No. You know what? That's the sign for me to not do that anymore. Okay, I'm going to stop that. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I just messed myself up right there. Bloody hell, Tino. What a guy. Anyways, limit sales coming in for Bitcoin. It's doing its business, moving up. As long as it maintains and its volume is up 10%. So they are aggressively coming in to sell. Okay? Sorry. I've got to do that. Come on, S&P. Nah, we're not going to do that. Anyways, look like Bitcoin is doing it. Looks like Bitcoin is getting ready for more sale. Look at this, limit sales, they're coming in. Something's wrong with TradingView, man. 42,410, and it's now 42,280. I don't understand what's going on with that. Have I gone, there must be something wrong with it. There has to be something wrong, but I don't want to change this unless it messes it up. Right, what time are we on? It's 7 minutes past. Okay, then cool. All right, now it's starting to catch up a little bit. That doesn't make sense. Right, what we got going off over here? We have got initially, let's see what the news has said. Let's go into it. What have they said? Projection, Yellen sees inflation rates beginning with the number numeral 2 by the end of 2024. She expects inflation to continue to come down, sees inflation rates beginning with the numeral 2 by the end of 2024. Okay, cool. But issues a statement. What does that say? So they've got down the statement. The growth expanded at a slow and has slowed from it and eased over the past year. But okay, then cool. That's interesting. All right, then, cool. Well, let me just refresh this right here, because that doesn't make sense. There we go. It doesn't make sense why I'm seeing that across the board. Okay, then, cool. That was very bizarre. Well, still got big limit sale orders coming in. Some more have just come in right now. 2.7 just come in 3 minutes ago. 42,520. They're looking to sell from that top side. So rise, retrace. That's what we're looking at logically right now. Bitcoin's coming in now. The book itself, with Powell speaking very, very shortly. Next 20 minutes. So has anybody actually managed to exploit that? Gold is lagging. Yeah, they ain't going to do nothing until Powell starts speaking. That's the truth. They ain't going to do nothing until Powell starts spitting the words. Something is wrong. It lags. Late loading. Please contact customer support and notify. Okay. Well, that is... Coinbase has the right price. Cannot handle the orders. 3 rate cuts in 2024. Yeah, that's it. On all of exchanges that are like TradingView, price feed is completely out. Listen, this is why you use Rhythmic. Rhythmic gives you the correct, it's the feed from the actual exchanges that that the banks use, you know, the futures traders, all right? Wall Street, all right? I've got 40% in the long still holding. Okay, Powell just gave us an early Christmas. I think he has given us an early Christmas, ladies and gentlemen. The S&P's pulled back a little bit. Bitcoin is now stalling. We want to see a little bit more flavor on Bitcoin to start clearing out these limit sales right here. Looking at the time, it is 10 past, so the market's going to calm down a little bit before we see it actually a little bit more flavor coming in. Let me just have a look at the S&P right now. The S&P itself is currently trading at the top side of its range. So if you look right here, this is the S&P. We're going into block trades. They're being triggered right now. And as long as NASDAQ is moving up, yeah, NASDAQ is doing well to move up. We should see a little bit more volatility coming into the S&P. Got big stacks of asks offered by the top side right here. Imbalance on the ask as well. So we want to be paying attention to that. All right, then. So, yeah, we're just keeping an eye out on Bitcoin. It's a little bit of a bizarre pricing view of cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, but we're looking at the orders to justify the flavor to the upside, all right? So we've got this order right here, 2.52 at 42,660 is what I'm expecting them to do next. The imbalance is now 38%, 35, 36% on the limit sales. They're picking it up, 40%. And volume is up, so there is pressure by the buyers to step in to absorb all the selling that's hitting on the ask. This is very, very good, ladies and gentlemen. I'm excited because Powell is probably going to put a stint in all of this, okay? How many likes are we at, ladies and gentlemen? 1,234. Can we get to the 2,000? Come on, man. It costs you nothing, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely nothing. Let's see if we can sustain this. Is the S&P going to try and make this move up? I'm looking to see if they can do it. I'm in a contract. I want to try. Well, I'm not in it yet, but let's take it. Let's see what we got. All right, and so this is where we are. 447 on the offer right there. Happy days. We should see S&P moving up. NASDAQ is moving up. They move in sync. I'm going to get out at market once I do see it. I don't want to add to any of these contracts. I've got to be very careful with it. Here we go. Bitcoin making a move up. S&P, NASDAQ should be making a move up very shortly. 17,000 is nearby, not too nearby, but 16,700 is on the cards. S&P should be making a move up right now. Here we go. We've got some bids holding out. Nothing on the ask. No one's offering. Same story as before. Let's roll it. Get some block trades in there. Come on, this is what I mean about block trades. Where is it? Where's the block trade? Oh, no. Quick. Where's the block trade? Here we go. ES. Let's get that up right there. The block trade should be coming in. Where is my block trade? Here we go. All right, look at this. This right here is going to show us the block trades very shortly. All right, if they can peek out at the top side of the move. All right, up here, there should be a block. Here we go. Bitcoin's making the climb up, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. Limit sales, 52%. It's been a while since we've seen that bad boy. And keep an eye on the S&P in the middle right here, because then that would then suggest that block trades are coming in at the top side. It's getting busy. It's getting very busy. NASDAQ is starting to move back. I might have to close this. Might have to get out of it because it is pulling back quite aggressively. 215. Yeah, I'm getting out of that. I want to get out of that. Wait. Could be a spoof. Hold on a second. They're not doing it yet. Not until I see NASDAQ break down aggressively. Not till I see it. I might need to take a little quick scalp tick out of that. Here we go. Come on. Start marking up. Bitcoin's doing well. It's eating the liquidity above. As some NASDAQ needs to keep on working that 16. Here we go. Snap reversal back up. S&P doing the same thing. Make the move, man. Come on, make the move. Taking too long. What time we got? 15 past, 15-minute candle. Don't like that. Don't like that push. NASDAQ's coming down. Some profit taking is coming into play. But they could do a reversal from this point. I want to pay close attention to the bid side right here. Come on, because we're so close to the book at the top side of the move. 46, 70, 50. That's what we want. There's 234 buys at the top side of that. But I don't think they're going to try and do it just yet. I might need to limit my loss right here. But I want to see them hit the block. Come on. I've got to give it time. I've got to give it time with S&P, especially during this time of volatility as well. I'm looking for a sweep up to try and get towards, even if $100, man, I'm cool with that. It's news. I don't like trading the news, but I just want to demonstrate to you as orders are coming into the market, how we can react and take advantage of these plays. Look, $25. Look, here we go. We're waiting to see if they can mark up. There's nothing on the bid. Offers now coming in, but there's an even distribution on the offers and the bids right now, sort of, but I just really need to see them try and hold out. Is this a player holding price right now? Blocks just come in again. Here we go. We really want to see them try and hit that. Going above the volume profile. Come on, NASDAQ. Make the move. Just one sweep up and then we're good. Because they sold 500 contracts. Look, 519 on the offer side right there. 32 on the buy, on the bid side. So that logically tells me that they're going to sweep up a little bit more. I might be closing this period. Here we go. Blocks are coming in. Big block trades coming into play. Here we go. So we should see a bit of a move up. We're going into the high of the value of the value area high of the day. So we should see a flush out of liquidity to the upside. Come on. It is a quick scalp in principle, but it's just, I don't want to commit size to this. We can go wild if we want, but we're going to be seeing mad drawdown with the way they're behaving at the top side of this move. And I'm paying attention to the NASDAQ because NASDAQ usually starts the fuel for the S&P. It's more volatile. So NASDAQ is moving back up right now. Bitcoin's still holding out. We've got 34% on the ask. It's still going up. And they're still filling orders. S&P, make your bloody move. I want to be out of this trade before FOMC starts so we can get ourselves sorted out and listen to good old Powell having a conversation. Come on, make the move. Here we go. Come on. The bids are still not doing it for me, man. There's someone that keeps on holding them at this. So we've got 301 on the offer side right there. I need to really see someone try and hold out and keep price in this range. I'll be comfortable with it because what they're going to do is build a profile here. But here we go. There's someone stepping in right now. That was a nice little momentum tail right there. Bit of an aggression on the actual order flow itself. That's good. That's what we want to see. When we see more of those, it means that we're looking in the direction of marking higher. Here we go. Big block order right there. Quite a few blocks right there. And although it hasn't gone anywhere, it tells me that someone's inside of here trying to do the business. Let's see if we can get that and try and take advantage of a quick flip. Here we go, 154. Come on, don't stall out on me now. Come on, just do the flip for me, man. NASDAQ is moving back up again. Come on, make the move, make the move. Bitcoin's pulling back now. Okay, fine. We can deal with that. S&P probably still going to keep on climbing up. 66 on the bids. They need to hold. Every time they come down, they come back up and someone steps in. 100 orders right there. So someone's in here. Here we go. Someone's in here. Come on. Keep initiating. 197. They're selling into it. So they're there. No one's on the offers. They need to start triggering the offers. Bit more movement. Here we go. Block trades coming in. NASDAQ still climbing up. Keep going, S&P. Come on. Make the move, man. They're stalling out at this point. It could be a sign that they could be stalling. I'm just waiting for a flip up. Come on. Push out. 400 nearly on the order right there. Someone stepping in. 236 on the bid. Bitcoin's trying to come back up. The limit sales have stopped now, so you might want to just be very cautious right now. 400 on there. The ask is holding it. Someone's holding here. This could be the top side of the move unless they do come in strong. 105 on the sales, 674 on the offers. On the buy side right there, someone is in here doing something, and I'm just waiting for that move. They could be waiting for NASDAQ to make the high. They could be doing that. Come on. Make the move. 568. That's gone. I need to see some more guys coming in offering here. Look, nothing's there on the offer. There's only 2 positions right there on the asks. Come on, make the break. Here we go. Let's see if we can get that. Bitcoin's pulling back down again. All right. Limit sales are coming in. Look, limit buys. They're buying up on this move on Bitcoin. Here we go. 570. So that was 2 areas. So 1,000 contracts have been traded, favoring higher prices from this point. That's the logic right now that we've got here. NASDAQ pumping up. So we're going to see it. We're going to see the move, I believe. Come on, man. Powell's going to start talking very, very short. I don't want to come out $25 on this, man. Come on. Make that move up. Come on. If they're going to pull back, I'm going to get out of this. I've got to be patient with it. But you don't have to be patient. As a scalper, you've got to be in, out, and you'll take no shit from markets. None. If it comes down, it comes down. Right, I'm out. I'm not going to take a huge loss from that. Come on. We're reading the logic. There seems like there's a bit of a resistance at this point right there. Someone seems to be offering quite well, forcing price to stay lower from the top range of price. So look, Bitcoin's coming down. The order book is limit buy, so they could be loading up right now. And we've got Powell speaking very shortly. I just need NASDAQ to try and make its daily high one more time, 16,695. Can we see him do it? Here we go. Some activities coming in on the top side of the order flow with the S&P. Flip. Come on, flip it. Flip them book. Come on. And you know what? They could keep this price point for the next 10 minutes until the news comes out. And I'll be out before that. I'm just looking for one bout of just flip. Flip out. Come on. 46,780. That's what I want. 46.78. That's all I'm looking for. Because there's pressure building up here until someone that's on the book right now says, F this. bang, smack in, lift it all up. And that's what we're looking for right now. Nasdaq stalling at the highs, man. I'm looking for that influx of liquidity to come into play. 160, 27, 66 on the bids. They're pulling off the ask. The pull stack is pulling off. They're taking orders off because they're not wanting to do offering at that point. That tells me that they're going to mark higher. Bitcoin's coming back down. Like we said to you, take some money off the table, ladies and gentlemen. I think I might have to do the same thing right here. 37.50, bro. Come on, man. Really? Really? Come on. You're still gunning for it, bro. Come on. One more. Come on. I want you guys to see this. There we go. 154. Top side. 651. Flip. Go. 254. Come on. There's someone buying up here. 183 on the bids. They're holding 216. That's good. But we're seeing an even distribution right now with the ask as well. That someone's fight. They're battling it out here. Okay, you know what? You know what? I'm not going to tolerate this shit from the S&P. It always does this to me. Sits tight. Nasdaq's moving up, so I'm probably going to close the trade. It then shoots up. How about we play that right now? Hypothetically, we close the trade now. It's closed. Now what happens? Nasdaq's moving up, making the daily high. S&P should follow suit. S&P should follow suit. Follow suit. Bitcoin's coming up. Here we go. Getting busy, getting busy. Here we go. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Look, 340. Okay, so we got a lot of activity happening right now. I think I need to stay in this trade. 657. Someone's coming in. They're bidding it up. Keep a hold on this. Don't go down. Nasdaq is shooting up. S&P should follow suit. 1,000 on the contracts. There she goes, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we're looking for. Keep going. Up you go. Off you go. Come on. Up. Move. 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 Go, go, go. I could add some more to this, but yeah, let's get out of it. Fuck it. Only one contract, guys, but I just wanted to show you that as an example. You tricky bastard. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. That was good fun. I enjoyed that quite a bit. Like the stream if you enjoyed that, ladies and gentlemen. Like the stream. No. I ain't staying in. No chance. Not with the way the S&P behaves, okay? Not with the way S&P behaves. I've sat in this mother trucker for... Look what's going on now. It's obviously... We want this 78. It's gone to that point, all right? But with it being so high, like, the pull-out game strong. Someone's just sold topside 465 right there. That's a little bit of a problem for me, so I wouldn't trust that. I want to be out before the news anyway, so that's how we scalp it. That's how we scalp the S&P, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just going to keep doing it. Fast in, fast out. We wouldn't be doing for that. But listen. That's with me and you guys on the live right now, okay? When it's just me in the zone, it's nothing like that. I'm listening to jungle music, probably a little bit of Tchaikovsky as well, and some Meshuggah at the same time. Not all at the same time, but mixing in between playlists, and I'm in the zone. Lights are off, glasses are on because of the computer screen. Happy days. So that's what I do. I'm literally fast in, fast out, because if I can do that 12, 15 times a day, happy days, man. Only on one contract, you're making nearly 2 racks a day on trading when you're there watching the volatility and taking advantage of it. But you give it all back when you trade the news. No, thank you. I have to wait 10 minutes after the news to then start my trading. Why not wait? Look what's going on. Now, if you manage to take advantage of some flavor on Bitcoin with Trading View's delay, oh, there we go. What we got? 2,000. There we are. So they've come back into the vector candle recovery. Happy days. So the reversal looks like it's a promise. There's the 1 point right there. Bitcoin in the middle right there, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to put that here. And I just want to put that top side right there. So we know that there's liquidity at the top side up here. Just to mark it off for you, because I'm going to get ready for the live now for Powell's speech. So make sure you stick around. 2.99 million sells are coming in at the 42,550, right? So that's where the sell orders are coming into play at that range. So we're going to be paying attention to that very shortly. Bookmap is right there. This is Bitcoin's order flow right here. S&P has gone towards the 4680. Could have made a penny or two, but never mind. Okay, then. All right, then. Cool. Are we ready, ladies and gentlemen? 3,000 people in the live. Honestly, I am humbled as hell. All right. If we can get 3,000 likes, come on, man. Would that be possible? I don't want to be begging, but come on, man. You know? All right, then. So the idea is that with Powell, we're going to be pulling up this bad boy right here. Okay. I'm going to assemble the live. So 6 minutes. I'm going to put this guy right here. We're going to zoom in. And once it goes live, I'll set it all up so that you guys can hear it. Okay. And then we can go forward and take advantage of what Powell has to say. Okay. Now, moving on. What have we got going off here? Can't like twice. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Don't worry about that. Happy days if you're enjoying the content, ladies and gentlemen. And again, remember, guys, look, there is a 20% discount on the Traders Reality website because I ain't going to talk once Powell starts talking. Go to the Traders Reality website. You get 20% off everything. We do trade setups, got masterclass sessions. There is one paid course, one free course. Do the free course. All right? That's all I'm saying to you. The paid course is there for convenience because it takes 4,000 posts off Patreon, 75 plus masterclass sessions, which range from 3 hours to 30 minutes, and 1,500 videos nearly on YouTube, and summarizes it in 4 hours. You don't have to take it. Just watch all the content that's available free on the channel because it's in there. All right? So take that into consideration. Wicked. Welcome. Escape the Matrix. Well done, bro. Well done. That's good. All right, then. Juicy long at 40,000. This is Jigsaw. This is Jigsaw. Nice how it's come back down again. Glad we got out of that. Made the move up, 47.78, and now it's coming back down again. So this is what we trade. This is all I'm looking at. I'm looking at vector candles inside. I'm justifying vector candles based on the relationship of the bid and the ask. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. Okay. Okay, cool. Tina, do you teach the market method? The market method? It's the market maker method. It's understanding where the liquidity is. Okay, that's the key thing. It's understanding where the liquidity is. All right? That's what we've got to understand. And you've got to understand that when prices are rising, people are being sold into you. As long as you understand that, you'll look at the charts differently. Okay? But we're going to see some activity coming in very, very shortly, ladies and gentlemen. We've got 3 minutes into it. I'm going to get this all set up. All right? Tino, there might not be an interest rate cut. This is what we're looking at finding out from Powell. If he turns around and says that we're not going to cut the interest rates, then that just means we're pretty much back to square one. And this move to the upside has been the market defying the Fed. All right? So naturally, they're going to bring it back down again because the market's pricing in the idea that the Fed is going to cut the interest rates. That's what they're pricing in right now. And if he turns around and switches it all up on us, which will be a beautiful Christmas present, all right? The nightmare before Christmas. Oh, my days. Anyway. I ain't had no sleep, man. Reese, Jude, what's good, man? I ain't been getting no sleep. You want that Chef Dayas recipe? Listen, my relationship with sleep is absolutely diabolical, right? Anyway, I'll get into that afterwards when I decide to go on a little bit of a rant. Here we go. So I'm going to pull out the headphones, ladies and gentlemen. Happy days. And now let's understand where we are. I'm getting the screen set up for you all. So just bear with me. Go get yourself a drink. Do what you need to do. We're going to wait and see. Wait and see if that's going to be the case. If it's going to be on. Should be coming on very shortly. I want to see if it is on YouTube. Yes, I know I'm leaving it. Here we go. All right, then. So I can't play it just yet because the sound, the music on there gets you a copyright. What a joke. 12,151 people are watching. Come on. So it's still there. 2:30. We should be good to go. I'll be triggering the sound very shortly, ladies and gentlemen. And then I'll be moving it. And then we'll be keeping an eye on Bitcoin over here with the price, the order book. Just move this across here for you. It's a little bit tedious. That's where we are right there. Hopefully we have price all the way up here. I'm going to change this to the 4-hour time frame. Look to the red vector candle recovery point right there. There's that. Okay, cool. We're getting some flavor right now. Powell should be at the bottom right here. And that is good to go for my guys on mobile. How is that for you? Is that all good? 3 minutes until Powell. All right, then. No, you can't. We've stopped paying. We've stopped taking crypto because you're going to end up paying more with gas fees. There's no point in doing that. You're going to pay $20. You're going to pay $40 for something that's $20. No chance. So just remove crypto off it. There's no point. No point in doing that. All right, then. I'm just waiting for that moment when they actually decide to bring the flavor and press play with this bad boy. I'm just going to have myself a nice little sipperoon on the drinks. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, then. Yeah, Powell expected to cut 75 basis points in 2024. Well, I'm seeing the markets not doing... Get some jungle in the background. Ah, man, I'd be loving jungle right now. You bearish on these flows, top for the EOD. Well, here we go. Let's get with the flavor, ladies and gentlemen. Powell's going to be approaching. Here we go. I'm hoping you can hear it. I'm hoping you can hear it. Can't hear anything. I'm hoping Bitcoin moving up. I don't hear anything yet. No sound just yet. There's no sound. There is no sound. Here we go. Come on. Oh, no. Tino, what's wrong with the sound?
My colleagues and I remain squarely focused on our dual mandate to promote maximum employment and stable prices for the American people. As we approach the end of the year, it's natural to look back on the progress that has been made toward our dual mandate objectives. Inflation has eased from its highs, and this has come without a significant increase in unemployment. That's very good news. But inflation is still too high. Ongoing progress in bringing it down is not assured, and the path forward is uncertain. As we look ahead to next year, I want to assure the American people that we're fully committed to returning inflation to our 2% goal.
There we go.
Restoring price stability is essential to achieve a sustained period of strong labor market conditions that benefit all. Since early last year, the FOMC has significantly tightened the stance of monetary policy. We've raised our policy interest rate by 5.25 percentage points and have continued to reduce our securities holdings at a brisk pace. Our actions have moved our policy rate well into restrictive territory, meaning that tight policy is putting downward pressure on economic activity and inflation, and the full effects of our tightening likely have not yet been felt. Today, we decided to leave our policy interest rate unchanged and to continue to reduce our securities holdings. Given how far we have come, along with the uncertainties and risks that we face, the committee is proceeding carefully. We will make decisions about the extent of any additional policy firming and how long policy will remain restrictive based on the totality of the incoming data, the evolving outlook, and the balance of risks.
Data again.
I will have more to say about monetary policy after briefly reviewing economic developments. Recent indicators suggest that growth of economic activity has slowed substantially from the outsized pace seen in the third quarter.
Justifying to reduce
Even so,
interest rates.
GDP is on track to expand around 2.5% for the year as a whole, bolstered by strong consumer demand as well as improving supply conditions. After picking somewhat over the summer, activity in the housing sector has flattened out and remains well below the levels of a year ago, largely reflecting higher mortgage rates. Higher interest rates also appear to be weighing on business fixed investment. In our summary of economic projections, committee participants revised up their assessments of GDP growth this year, but expect growth to cool, with the median projection falling to 1.4% next year. The labor market remains tight, but supply and demand conditions continue to come into better balance. Over the past 3 months, payroll job gains averaged 204,000 jobs per month, a strong pace that is nevertheless below that seen earlier in the year. The unemployment rate remains low at 3.7%. Strong job creation has been accompanied by an increase in the supply of workers. The labor force participation rate has moved up since last year, particularly for individuals aged 25 to 54 years, and immigration has returned to pre-pandemic levels. Nominal wage growth appears to be easing, and job vacancies have declined. Although the jobs-to-workers gap has narrowed, labor demand still exceeds the supply of available workers. FOMC participants expect the rebalancing in the labor market to continue, easing upward pressures on inflation. The median unemployment rate projection in the SEP rises somewhat from 3.8% at the end of this year to 4.1% at the end of next year. Inflation has eased over the past year, but remains above our longer-run goal of 2%. Based on the Consumer Price Index and other data, we estimate that total PCE prices rose 2.6% over the 12 months ending in November, and that, excluding the volatile food and energy categories, core PCE prices rose 3.1%. The lower inflation readings over the past several months are welcome, but we will need to see further evidence to build confidence that inflation is moving down sustainably toward our goal. Longer-term inflation expectations appear to remain well anchored, as reflected in a broad range of surveys of households, businesses, and forecasters, as well as measures from financial markets. As is evident from the SEP, we anticipate that the process of getting inflation all the way to 2% will take some time. The median projection in the SEP is 2.8% this year, falls to 2.4% next year, and reaches 2% in 2026. The Fed's monetary policy actions are guided by our mandate to promote maximum employment and stable prices for the American people. My colleagues and I are acutely aware that high inflation imposes significant hardship as it erodes purchasing power, especially for those least able to meet the higher costs of essentials like food, housing, and transportation. We're highly attentive to the risks that high inflation poses to both sides of our mandate, and we are strongly committed to returning inflation to our 2% objective. As I noted earlier, since early last year, we have raised our policy rate by 5.25 percentage points, and we have decreased our securities holdings by more than $1 trillion. Our restrictive stance of monetary policy is putting downward pressure on economic activity and inflation. The committee decided at today's meeting to maintain the target range for the federal funds rate at 5.25 to 5.5%, and to continue the process of significantly reducing our securities holdings. While we believe that our policy rate is likely at or near its peak for this tightening cycle, the economy has surprised forecasters in many ways since the pandemic.
That's good
and
news.
ongoing progress toward our 2% inflation objective is not assured.
Green vector.
We are prepared to tighten policy further if appropriate. We're committed to achieving a stance of monetary policy that is sufficiently restrictive to bring inflation sustainably down to 2% over time, and to keeping policy restrictive until we're confident that inflation is on a path to that objective. In our SEP, FOMC participants wrote down their individual assessments of an appropriate path for the federal funds rate based on what each participant judges to be the most likely scenario going forward. While participants do not view it as likely to be appropriate to raise interest rates further, Neither do they want to take the possibility off the table.
No shorts.
If the economy
Don't be shorting
evolves
yet.
as projected, the median participant projects that the appropriate level of the federal funds rate will be 4.6% at the end of 2024, 3.6% at the end of 2025, and 2.9% at the end of 2026, still above the median longer-term rate. These projections are not a committee decision or plan. If the economy does not evolve as projected, the path of policy will adjust as appropriate to foster our maximum employment and price stability goals. In light of the uncertainties and risks and how far we have come, the committee is proceeding carefully. We will continue to make our decisions meeting by meeting based on the totality of the incoming data and their implications for the outlook for economic activity and inflation, as well as the balance of risks. In determining the extent of any additional policy firming that may be appropriate to return inflation to 2% over time, the committee will take into account the cumulative tightening of monetary policy, the lags with which monetary policy affects economic activity and inflation, and economic and financial developments.
Someone needs to give this guy
We remain
Vaseline,
committed to
man.
bringing inflation back down to our 2% goal and to keeping longer-term inflation expectations well anchored. Restoring price stability is essential to set the stage for achieving maximum employment and stable prices over the longer run. To conclude, we understand that our actions affect communities, families, and businesses across the country. Everything we do is in service to our public mission. We at the Fed will do everything we can to achieve our maximum employment and price stability goals. Thank you. I look forward to your questions.
That was brilliant. All right, all
Chris
seriousness,
Regaber
here we go.
at Associated Press. I wanted to ask, how should we interpret the addition of the word any before additional firming in the statement? I mean, does that mean that you're pretty much done with rate hikes and the committee has shifted away from a tightening bias and toward a more neutral stance? Thank you.
So specifically on any, we do say that in determining the extent of any additional policy firming that may be appropriate, so any additional policy firming, that sentence. So we added the word any as an acknowledgement that we believe that we are likely at or near the peak rate for this cycle.
Limit sales are coming in still going.
We believe are likely.
No shorts.
That's what we wrote down. But participants also didn't want to take the possibility of further hikes off the table. So that's really what we were thinking.
Mr. Chairman, the microphone, sorry. Steve Leisman, CNBC. Happy holidays, Mr. Chairman. Fed Governor Chris Waller said that if inflation continues to fall, then the Fed in the next several months could be cutting interest rates. I wonder if you could comment on whether you agree with Fed Governor Waller on that the Fed would become more restrictive if it didn't cut rates if inflation fell. Thank you, sir.
So, of course, I don't comment on any other officials, even those who work at the Fed. But I'll try to answer your question more broadly. So the way we're looking at it is really this. When we started out, right, we said the first question is how fast to move, and we moved very fast. The second question is, really how high to raise the policy rate, and that's really the question that we're still on here. We're very focused on that. As I mentioned, people generally think that we're at or near that, and think it's not likely that we will hike, although they don't take that possibility off the table. So that's when you get to that question, and that's your answer. There's a naturally it begins to be the next question, which is when it will become appropriate to begin dialing back the amount of policy restraint that's in place. So that's really the next question, and that's what people are thinking about and talking about. And I would just say this: we are seeing strong growth that appears to be moderating. We're seeing a labor market that is coming back into balance by so many measures, and we're seeing inflation making real progress. These are the things we've been wanting to see. We can't know. We still have a ways to go. No one is declaring victory. That would be premature. And we can't be guaranteed of this progress. So we're moving carefully in making that assessment of whether we need to do more or not. That's really the question that we're on. But of course, the other question, the question of when will it become appropriate to begin dialing back the amount of policy restraint in place, that begins to come into view and is clearly a topic of discussion out in the world, and also a discussion for us at our meeting today.
Can you give some color as to the nature of that discussion today? Thank you.
Sure. So it comes up in this way today. Everybody wrote down an SEP forecast, so many people mentioned what their rate forecast was, and there was no back and forth, no attempt to sort of reach agreement, like this is what I wrote down, this is what I think, that kind of thing, and a preliminary kind of a discussion like that. Not everybody did that, but many people did, and I would say there's a general expectation that this will be a topic for us looking ahead. That's really what happened in today's meeting. I can't do the head count for you in real time, but that's generally what happened today.
5 million's been sold on Bitcoin, partially. 98% complete.
Hi, Chair Powell. Rachel Siegel from the Washington Post. Thanks for taking our questions. At this point, can you confidently say that the economy has avoided a recession and isn't heading for one now? And if the answer is no, I'm curious about what you'd still be looking for.
I think you can say that there's little basis for thinking that the economy is in a recession now. I would say that. I think there's always a probability that there will be a recession in the next year, and it's a meaningful probability no matter what the economy is doing. So it's always a real
Nasdaq
possibility.
just took a
The question is it? So it's a possibility here. I have always felt since the beginning that there was a possibility, because of the unusual situation, that the economy could cool off in a way that enabled inflation to come down without the kind of large job losses that have often been associated with high inflation and tightening cycles. So far, that's what we're seeing. That's what many forecasters on and off the committee are seeing. This result is not guaranteed. It is far too early to declare victory. And there are certainly risks. It's certainly possible that the economy will behave in an unexpected way. It has done that repeatedly through in the post-pandemic period. Nonetheless, where we are is we see the things that I mentioned.
I'm curious if you're looking back on the past year, you talked about navigating by the stars under cloudy skies. Can you talk about some of the ways in which the economy surprised you most this year, where you thought it would behave in one way
Avoid
and
shorts
had to
because there's
pivot to
12
respond?
million
Thanks.
that's initially
So
getting
I think,
filled right now. 7% left.
Forecasters generally, if you go back a year, were very broadly forecasting a recession for this year, for 2023. And not only did that not happen, that includes Fed forecasters and really essentially all forecasters. A very high proportion of forecasters were expecting very weak growth or a recession. Not only did that not happen, we actually had a very strong year. And that was a combination of strong demand, but also real gains on the supply side. So this was the year when labor force participation picked up, where immigration picked up, where the distortions to supply and demand from the pandemic, the shortages and the bottlenecks, really began to unwind. So we had significant supply side gains with strong demand, and we got what looks like a 2.5% plus, or a little more than that, growth year at a time when potential growth this year might even have been higher than that, just because of the healing on the supply side. So that was a surprise to just about everybody. I think the inflation forecast is roughly what people wrote down a year ago, but in a very different setting. And I would say the labor market, because of the stronger growth, has also been significantly better. If you look back at the SEP from a year ago, there was a significant increase in unemployment. That didn't really happen. We're still at 3.7%. So we've seen strong growth, still a tight labor market, but one that's coming back into balance with support from the supply side, a greater supply of labor. It's that's what we see, and that I think that combination was not anticipated broadly.
Thanks, Howard Schneider with Reuters, and thanks for taking the
Here we go.
questions. I wonder if you could give a little more color or detail on what motivates the lower rates next year. Whether it's a coincidence, for example, that the spread between PCE inflation, core inflation, and the federal funds rate stays constant over the year. Are you simply calibrating against the fall in prices, in the price level that you're expecting, in the rate of inflation that you're expecting, as opposed to supporting the economy?
Nothing quite that mechanical is happening. The SEP really is a bottoms up, built from the bottom up, right? So I think people are looking at what's happening in the economy, and I think if you look at the big difference from September in the SEP, the expectations for inflation this year, both headline and core, have come down, really significantly in 3 months. That's a big piece of this. At the same time, growth is turned out to be very strong in the third quarter, is slowing, we believe, as appropriate. And we've had several labor market reports which suggest, again, significant progress toward greater balance across a broad range of indicators. You're seeing so many of the indicators coming back to normal, not all of them. But so I think that people look at that and they write down basically each individual writes down a forecast and a rate forecast that goes with that forecast. We tabulate them and publish it. And so it isn't, you ask about real rates, I take it, that is something that we're very conscious of and aware of and monitor, and it's certainly a big part
candle in 10 minutes.
It's a part of how we think about things, but really it's broader financial conditions that
That'll
matter,
prove this
and
move
as you well
to
know,
the upside.
It's so hard to know exactly, what the real rate is or exactly how tight policy is at any given time. So you couldn't follow that like it was a rule and think that you would get the right answer all the time. But it's certainly something that we're focused on. And indeed, if you look at the projections, I think the expectation would be that the real rate is declining as we move forward.
It sounds like the discussion over that, if I could follow up, has already kind of begun. I'm wondering, just related to Steve's question, how the tactics of this play out, given the slowing of inflation and the fact that the deeper you get into 2024, the closer you get to a presidential election. Do you want to front load this, in other words?
Yeah, no, we don't think about political events. We don't think about politics. We think about what's the right thing to do for the economy. The minute we start thinking about those things, we just can't do that. We have to think, what's the right thing? We'll do the things that we think are
Limit
right
buys are
for
coming
the
in.
economy
Just
at
be
the
careful
time
with shorts.
when we think is the right time. That's what we'll always do. So I mentioned we're moving carefully. One of the things we're moving carefully about is that decision over, that assessment really over whether we've done enough, really. And you see that people are not writing down rate hikes. That's us thinking that we have done enough, but not feeling that really strongly confidently and not wanting to take the possibility of a rate hike off the table. Nonetheless, it's not the base case anymore, obviously, as it was, 60, 90 days ago. So that's how we're approaching things. And as I mentioned, we wrote down this SEP, and it talks about people have individual assessments of when it will be appropriate to start to dial back on the tight policy we have in place. And that's a discussion we'll be having going forward, but that's another assessment that we're going to make very carefully, so as time goes forward.
Wall Street, come on.
Nick Timmeros of the Wall Street Journal.
Happy
Chair
days.
Powell, you've argued over the last year that policy tightening started before you actually lifted off because the market anticipated your moves and tightened on your behalf. The market is now easing policy on your behalf by anticipating a funds rate by next September that's a full point below the current level, with cuts beginning around March. Is this something that you are broadly comfortable with?
So this last year has been remarkable for the sort of seesaw thing back and forth we've had over the course of the year.
Wall Street,
of markets moving away and moving back and that kind of thing. So, and what I would just say is that we focus on what we have to do and how we need to use our tools to achieve our goals, and that's what we really focus on. And people are going to have different forecasts about the economy, and those are going to show up in market conditions, or they won't. But in any case, we have to do what we think is right. And in the long run, it's important that financial conditions become aligned or are aligned with what we're trying to accomplish. And in the long run, they will be, of course, because we will do what it takes to get to our goals. And ultimately, that will mean that financial conditions will come along. But in the meantime, there can be back and forth, and I'm just focused on what's the right thing for us to do, and my colleagues are focused on that too.
The markets seem to think inflation is coming down credibly. Do you believe we're at the point where inflation is coming down credibly?
Listen, I welcome the progress. I think it's It's really good to see the progress that we're making. I think if you look at the 12-month measure, look at the 6-month measures, you see very low numbers. If you look at 12-month measures, you're still well above 2%. You're actually above 3% on core through November at PCE. That isn't to say I'm not calling into question the progress. It's great. We just need to see more. We need to see continued further progress toward getting back to 2%. That's what we need to see. So it's our job to restore price stability, and that it's one of our 2 jobs along with maximum employment, and they're equal. So we're very focused on doing that. As I mentioned, we're moving carefully at this point. We're pleased with the progress, but we see the need for further progress. And I think it's fair to say there is a lot of uncertainty about going forward. We've seen the economy move in surprising directions, so we're just going to need to see more further progress.
Gina.
Here we go.
Gina Smilek, New York Times. Thanks for taking our questions. In the SEP from today, growth is notably below potential in 2024. If growth were to surprise us again in the way that it has for years now by being stronger than expected next year, would it still be possible to cut rates? Or put another way, is below trend growth necessary to cut rates, or would continued progress on inflation alone be sufficient?
So we'll look at the totality of the data. Growth is one thing. So is inflation, so is labor market data. So we'd look at the total, if we make decisions about policy changes going forward, we're going to look at all those things, and particularly as they affect the outlook. It's ultimately all about the outlook and the balance of risks as well. So that's what we'd be looking for. If we have stronger growth, that'll be good for people. That'll be good for the labor market. It might actually mean that it takes a little longer to get inflation down to 2%. We will get it down to 2%.
Ask another question, Gina.
If we see stronger growth, we will set policy according to what we actually see, and so that's how I would answer.
I guess the
Don't interrupt.
I guess the question I'm asking, if you don't mind a quick follow-up, I guess the question I'm asking is
day,
above trend
bro.
growth itself a problem?
It's only a problem it's not
Keep
itself
it going,
a problem. It's only a problem insofar as it makes it more difficult for us to achieve our goals. And if you have growth that's robust, what that will mean is probably will keep the labor market very strong. It probably will place some upward pressure on inflation. That could mean that it takes longer to get to 2% inflation. That could mean we need to keep rates higher for longer. It could even mean ultimately that we would need to hike again. It just is. It's the way our policy works.
Go to Neil.
Hi, Chair Powell. Neil Irwin with Axios. How do you interpret the state of the labor market right now? And in particular, you've referred even today to evidence that it's coming into better balance. What would you need to see to conclude that it has reached that balance?
So on the better balance side, just a lot of things. It's you see job growth still strong, but moving back down to more sustainable levels given population growth and labor force participation. The things that are not quite, but let me go on with that list. Claims are low. If you look at surveys of businesses, they're sort of the era of this frantic labor shortage are behind us, and they're seeing a shortage of labor as being significantly alleviated. If you look at shortages of workers, whereas they thought job availability was the highest it had ever been or close to it, that's now down to more normal levels by so many measures: participation, unemployment, so many measures, the unemployment, job openings, quits, all of those things. So wages are still running a bit above what would be consistent with 2% inflation over a long period of time. They've been gradually cooling off, but if wages are running around 4%, that's still a bit above, I would say. And I guess there are just a couple of other, the unemployment rate is very, very low. And these are, but I would just say overall, the development of the labor market has been very positive. It's been a good time for workers to find jobs and get solid wage increases.
Claire.
Claire Jones, Financial Times. Yeah, I'd say the mood among economists at the moment seems to be one of cautious optimism, which is somewhat corroborated by your forecast, by this sense that we are going to have a soft landing. Yeah, when we hear from the general public, there's a lot of discord about economic conditions. What do you think explains this disconnect, and does it matter for policymakers?
It may be. A common theme is that while inflation is coming down, and that's very good news, the price level is not coming down. Prices of some goods and services are coming down, but overall, in the aggregate, the price level is not good. So people are still living with high prices, and that is something that people don't like. And what will happen with that is wages are now, real wages are now positive, so that wages are now moving up more than inflation as inflation comes down. And so that might help improve the mood of people. But we see those public opinion surveys. The thing that we can do is to do our jobs, which is to use our tools to foster price stability, which has such great benefits over such long periods of time, and which is the thing that really enables us to work for and achieve an extended period of high employment, which is so beneficial for families and companies around the country.
Victoria? Hi, Victoria Guido with Politico. I wanted to ask, on the flip side of if things start to deteriorate rapidly, if we do fall into a recession.
If we consider all of the key anchors, news anchors that have asked the question, Wall Street Journal, Reuters, New York Times, all right, they've really asked the most important questions, CNBC, so I think that's where we are coming into a bit of a dead look. He even can't be bothered.
See, we're hoping to see something very different, which is continuation of what we have seen, which is the labor market coming into better balance without a significant increase in unemployment, inflation coming down without an increase.
You know what, ladies and gentlemen? I think that's pretty much it. All the heavyweights have asked the questions. Now let's get into the charts, okay? So it looks like it's all good across the board. NASDAQ and S&P are taking some mad movements to the upside. Let's just have a look at where we are. Looks like the W formation has played out nice and sweet. Oh, my days, my ears. Stumbledore, what's good, man? Hope you're doing well. Oh. All right, hold on a second. People have been going batshit for gold. Here we go. Yo. Look at that for a target. Not bad, huh? Not bad. Gold target seems like it's coming into play. Happy days. We did well on that one. Euro. Oh, man. Target's coming to play. 109. Let me make sure of that. Hold on a second. I need to make sure. I might be speaking too soon. Wait a second. Our weekly setup. I need to see that. Has it been hit? That should be. 109 target. Here we go. Oh, 109.097 is the target. Okay, cool. So we're nearly on our way there for the week. Happy days. All right then, cool. So Bitcoin up 3%. So like I said to you earlier, be careful when running shorts in this. You should be taking some profits right now, but there's too much movement across the board. Forgive me, to really start running for shorts. If you are going to run shorts, you've got to be very careful with it. Be very careful with the short because they can snap back down and then, of course, move back up. So you want to be taking quick profits on the short, ladies and gentlemen. Great place for Bitcoin going into the retrace back up. I just want to see ADA for a second. Did ADA pull the flavor? Let's have a look. Oh, my days. They did the flavor. So they've cleared the liquidity to the top side of that zone. Man, if we see 74 cents ADA, that'll be an absolute joke. It really will. Solana is pumping up nicely, coming back up into the red vector candle region as well. Ethereum doing the flavor, breaking out. Happy days, going into the red vector zone. That's what we want. And this is where we would logically expect a little bit of a flush of liquidity right here, ladies and gentlemen, because you've got to consider this. The marketplace is still within its range that it's dropped to. Look, Ethereum is still here. That means that when we go into the close, into the start of Asia tonight, boy, Asia's going to have some fun with the ranges tonight, guys. So just take that into consideration, okay? So like I said, just be careful when you're running shorts right now because it's all good news. Just because it's good news, and the logic says on the principle of the hybrid that a retrace is due because they're marking up shorts because they're going into vector candle zones. That's true. But we still got red vector candle region right here. There's still more of it to be taken. So just play your shorts very wisely, okay? Just be very careful with it. All right, then. Litecoin. Let's have a look at Litecoin. TC, Litecoin. $73. Not bad. Still got a little bit more ground to take. S&P still climbing up, ladies and gentlemen. Still got a bit more ground. I would be considering load ups inside of these ranges right here. Okay, these are your loadings. In case price does decide to pull back ever so slightly, you're loading up inside of these ranges. All right. Be definitive and aggressive if it does come back down to this point right here at 71. You want to slow down just in case they actually drop. So just have a commitment and say, I am done at this point of loading up. After beyond 71.87, get out. You know, don't add any more as such. Okay. Yes, yeah, look at the NASDAQ right now. The NASDAQ has just completely taken it by storm. Look at that. We are heading towards all-time highs with NASDAQ. Absolutely unbelievable. Now we just need to understand if the volume is present on the NASDAQ as well. We've got to be mindful of that as well. Look, hold on. Where is it? Volume should be coming into play on NASDAQ. How many stocks are pivoting out? Here we go. 489 stocks are up on volume. 51 are down. No one is selling. 4 are breaking out. 33 stocks are near a pivot. New highs for indexes. 2023, ladies and gentlemen. Absolute storming day for cryptocurrency. Okay? Cool. All right, then. As I said before, ladies and gentlemen, if you are new to the channel, make your way over to tradersreality.com to the info part to get access to all sorts of fun and games with Traders Reality. Download the hybrid system indicator and also take advantage of 20% discount on everything across the board on the website. Use the code Santa. It's pinned to the top of the chat and in the description of this video, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So go check that out. It's running until January. So just be careful as well that to get access to the free course, you've got to become a bronze member so that we keep out all of the spam and all the scammers that do try and come in and try and do some funny business on the website. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, you've seen the flavor. You've seen the move. We've got Asia to work with right now. Anticipate the close. Pay yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a good day in the markets. Take care of yourselves, gang. Mad love and respect. Peace.